Hey guys, this is Doug with Fellowship of the Martyrs. Today is the last day of 2009. I may do some other videos this evening. Um, we're going to do a baptism service. Couple, at least a couple of the folks here that want to get baptized, and they want to get baptized right at midnight to ring in the new year. And so we're going to go work out how to do that. Um, and we just rolled past 1 million views on YouTube of the videos that are there now. There were videos that I took down, like the Atheism Kills video, that had several 100,000 views. So I know that we're up over that. Some other videos that were taken down for a variety of reasons that would have had a much higher hits too. But um, um, between all of the different online outlets where some of the videos are, we're probably closer to 2 million views, which is nothing in comparison to a little British boy whose brother bites his finger and gets 134 million views or whatever like that. But still, um, I think it's great that we're out there making contact with lots of folks. And individual videos may not get that many views, but uh, uh, corporately, cumulatively, we're definitely God is making a way to get people to our website for sometimes the strangest, oddest, accidental looking reasons. But they call, they find what they need, they get prayer, they get healed, they get delivered. Lots of good stuff is happening. We've got the 4 townhouses now here in Liberty, constantly waiting on the Lord for provision for those. If He's going to get us another one, we could really use it because we're bursting at the seams right now, rearranging people around so that there's some balance between the houses. We're feeding about 2,500 people a month at least. That's the ones we're tracking. A lot of food goes, we just goes to other agencies and gets distributed out as well. But God continues to overflow our pantries so that we can be a blessing to other folks. And we continue to pray for more space for the thrift store, for the food pantry, so that we can enlarge our reach there. Um, if you want to know how to pray, we're always in need of provision. We just trust God for everything, and we don't really demand that people that stay here pay to be an intern or pay rent or whatever. Some of them work and they contribute where they can, and some of them are disabled or little kids or whatever like that. So we just trust the Lord to provide. But there's always a need. Right now, we've got rent due on all of the townhouses, and the electric bill yesterday. Excuse me, I got a beard here. Was just short of $1,300 for 4 townhouses, and the Lord came through with the money for that the day before they wanted to cut it off. So we're used to praying everything in at the last minute and believing in faith that God's got it under control. If you're working for Him, He's going to pay the bills somehow, and He'll move on His people, or He'll just manifest cattle on 1,000 hills and slaughter them in front of you and give you the meat or whatever. But lots of needs. I really believe that God is doing an amazing work here. I know that the Kansas City revival has started. I know that it doesn't look the way people think it should look. But every great revival in history, the Welsh revival or whatever, we want to see the manifestation of the fullness of the revival and define that as the revival. But the revival started 7 years before that, when a body committed themselves to pray that it would happen, and it began to dial up, and the snowball began to roll. And I know that in the last couple of weeks we've seen some amazing healing and deliverance, and new people coming, and God answering their prayers for where can I go, where can I fellowship, whatever. And people even wanting to move here because wherever they are, it's dry and dead, and they know that there's something special here. So um, anyway, I believe that we're to accumulate treasure in heaven, where moths don't eat it and thieves can't steal, and that we do that by obedience to the Lord, by caring for the widows and orphans, by giving of whatever we have selflessly to those that have a need around us, and by seeing where the Lord is moving and participating in that. I've said that if there was in the back of the Wall Street Journal the stock pages and the mutual fund pages where you can see what return on investment, what is your ROI on a particular investment, what am I getting paid back per share based on my investment in this company or this mutual fund. If there was another page with all the ministries and you could see how much treasure in heaven you're generating per dollar that you gave those ministries, it would change everything. There are people that would bail out of their stocks real fast and stop giving to the megachurch that's building a new gymnasium with a chandelier and a jumbotron, because there is negative treasure in heaven from that. And they would invest in streetscape ministries in Galveston, where they're taking care of the junkies on the streets and seeing people moved, or other places like Hardcore Christianity in Phoenix, or here with the Fellowship of the Martyrs and Liberty Disaster Relief, and see what God is doing. Some of the folks that I know that are the most obedient to the Lord are also the most penniless, the most faith-filled, having to pray in every dollar to feed their own families even, and yet we have giant gold-crusted cathedrals full of death. I'm not sure what the Lord's going to do to straighten that out, but I would encourage you in 2010 to consider where your money's going. Are you giving at all to benefit others, or are you hoarding it all for yourself? Are you giving to institutions and structures that are wasting most of the money on infrastructure and systems and whatever? How much treasure in heaven are you getting per dollar? We have people that have started to ask that kind of question, and one lady that says, my congregation has a building fund with thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in it that we don't even need. We're not even planning a building. We're not even expecting to build a building. We're not even filling the building we're in, but that money sits there and they won't spend it on the poor, even the needy in the congregation that need the money. She says, until they use that money, I ain't giving them anymore. I'm going to give it to you. Great. Well, we'll invest it as best we can into the community, into the lives that are here. We're seeing people saved, and not just decisions for Christ in the sinner's prayer, radically saved, transformed. People that were junkies, people that you get extra bonus points in treasure in heaven when you rescue them. The sweater wearing, SUV driving suburbanites that think they're fine and have never suffered, and they may not really be grateful for the grace and mercy and forgiveness of God. But you go get the witches and the junkies and the drug dealers and the hard cases, the guys that got out of prison and can't find a job because nobody will give them a chance, even though they're different now. You get bonus points for those folks, and evidently the Lord has targeted us on those, because we threw a party and the rich wouldn't come, but the poor are coming. So anyway, if the Lord moves on you to donate, you can go to our website and see there how to contact us. Maybe you have equipment you're not going to use. Maybe you have computers or laptops or clothing or truckloads of food or whatever. Maybe you want to help with the new websites that we're building that will radically transform the internet and connect the body of Christ in every city to itself and to every other city. Maybe you want to find out more about the communication systems that the Lord has called us to build to replace the internet in the case when it goes down, that we can still talk to each other and untraced, unhackable, uncontrollable by the government. Maybe you want to participate in the distribution systems that we're supposed to build to get the wealth of the heartland out to where it's needed, and the trucks and the warehouses and the other things that we're going to need. God's given us a mighty vision, and the people that are here are not enough to do it. I know that the Lord is going to do it, and I don't know when and I don't know how, but I believe it's coming. And I've bet everything in my life on it. And I believe that it's necessary, and that somebody is going to have to do banking different, do insurance, health insurance different, do a whole bunch of things different if God was really in charge. And somebody that hears him really well is going to have to go out front and show how it's done and see if it catches on. And if you feel like the Lord would like you to invest in this little part of the body and help us grow and do what God's calling us to do, we'd sure appreciate it. And we will use it wisely and treasure every penny and make sure that it gets exactly where the Lord wants it to go. I don't know how I can make any stronger guarantee than that. I have a lot of fear of the Lord, and I understand that a dollar or two spent in the wrong place is going to be a curse on my head. And we're going to find that we're short on the rent or the electric or whatever, because we bought ice cream for everybody, and God planned on providing ice cream for free next week. So we just listen really, really well and try to make sure that it gets where it needs to go. So nobody here is getting rich. Nobody's really paid, salaried, anything like that. Nobody's buying a bass boat and a mansion. We're just making videos in the closet. You can tell that we're not spending money on looking pretty. We're letting the Word of God and the power of the truth coming forth carry the day. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully there'll be some more videos tonight as we look back at 2009 and where we've been, and look forward to 2010 and where we're going. But I would encourage you to not get too attached to your stuff. Not get too attached to the things of this world that are going to start fading fast. Use what you can for the kingdom as quickly as possible before it gets taken away from you. I think that's good advice no matter what period of time that the church has been through. Anyway, thanks for listening. More at fellowshipofthemartyrs.com. You can contact us through there. Phone call, PayPal address, email address are all there. Thank you very much. Bye.